Throughout the world, throngs of people hail the end of the war in Europe. It is 5 years and more since Hitler marched into Poland. Years full of suffering and death and sacrifice. Now the war against Germany is won. Southern German city, the American flag flouts out the swastika. In a symbolic gesture, American troops destroy the Nazi Party emblem.
So then we sailed for Europe.
What country?
France.
You sailed to France?
And we went to Dieppe, D-I-E-P-P-E.
You went to Dieppe?
Yeah. And I can remember coming in, there was a big concrete wall. They were part of a fort. And somebody had painted on it, "Here's to the gal with the torch in her hand." And the city was destroyed. I remember there was a dead silence on the ship as we moved into the harbor. You couldn't believe such destruction and the smell of buried bodies. And there I was sent to clerk typist school. And I remember they turned off the lights very early in the morning to conserve electricity. So I wasn't very good at learning to type and qualify. You had to be able to type 15 words a minute. You tell this to a typist today and they laugh at it. After I'd finished there, I was transferred to Heidelberg, Germany, headquarters of 7th Army. And we were put in what was called the Kasernes, K-A-S-S-E-R-E, E-R-N-E. These were the German barracks, which had lost their troops. And they used to use them by units. And the room I got had 16 men in it, so I don't know what sort of unit the Germans had, maybe an 88 gun or something. Germans had built beautiful barracks.
Mm-hmm.
The only joker was the toilets with big, huge things. And sometimes they would flush and they would go down. So there was always a stick there, jam it down. And that ended up with the phrase, if he got hold of the wrong end of the stick. For amusement, we went to the Red Cross Club and played checkers. Or we went to movies. It was a different movie every night.
Mm-hmm.
There were no games. Boredom was the principal thing. We were in contact with the figures all the time.
How did you like them?
No problem at all.
Were they nice to you generally?
Oh, they resented you.
Oh, they hated you?
Well, after all, you're an occupying force. And you could get anything you wanted for cigarettes. That was a currency.
Cigarettes was like the main bartering
That was
tool?
the main bartering tool. I remember one time seeing a whole group of Russians. They were supposed to be what they call repatriated back to Russia. They loaded them on trucks. And suddenly they realized they were being sent back to Russia. And they didn't want to go. They knew they'd be killed there. And they began screaming. You heard them screaming all the way down the highway. About 60 truckloads of them. Horrible thing. The Germans, it was funny, not funny. In Brandenburg, there was a railway trestle and a tunnel going under.
Mm-hmm.
And there were an awful lot of injured Germans with only one leg, things. And they would come through this tunnel, just going someplace. and young Germans would jump them and beat the hell out of them. They resented these guys and lost the war for them. It was an awful thing.
Did you ever see that in person?
Oh yeah,
Did you ever help out the people that were injured?
we did. A group of us got together once to do it, but it didn't do any good. And then came the day that my number came up. I remember getting the notice. I remember letting out a scream of joy. And I went from there down to Hamburg, where we put on transports and came over to the States. That was the biggest day in my life.
Biggest day?
Yeah, going home.
Oh, yeah.
Going home, it was great.
So did you enjoy your time over in Europe or no?
It was not enjoyable. I didn't have any responsibilities. I had nobody who ever gave me trouble. I didn't get in a fight with anybody. No, that's about it. Now, what didn't I cover question-wise?
You actually did everything pretty good, Grandpa.